Hello my friends and welcome to Disney Dreamlight Valley. We actually got some news about the update. Gameloft just decided to drop this little nugget right before the weekend. You know what they say, 50 is the new 40. And this is, I don't know, when I saw this immediately my mind went to, oh my god, they're increasing the player level, because I've been pondering this for a long time. Why is the maximum level 40? So the number 40 is always associated with the player level in my mind. So when I said 50, oh, I'm like, yep, we're getting 10 new levels in the next update. So this is one of the quality of life features. I hope it's not the only one. Next week is going to be a huge week for the update news because we're going to be getting all of the developer updates. And I'm willing to bet they're going to leak the entire update somehow in the very beginning. But we're just going to wait for all of the regular updates so we can review it 3 times a week. Gonna be exciting. I'm mostly excited for the new Star Path and the new quality of life features because we already know everything there is to know about Phil and Hercules, except how their realm looks. I guess that would be interesting too, because you can bet that almost every item we see in those realms is going to be coming into the game one way or the other. So what does it mean that we're getting 10 extra levels? Well, a few things. Number one, we do have rewards for every single level up. A lot of us haven't leveled up in years, so we don't remember this, but actually a lot of, like, Celestial set, Thorn set of the furniture of the outfits were given away as rewards for leveling up. So my guess, we're gonna get 10 extra rewards from getting from level 40 to level 50. So that's gonna be exciting. What is even more exciting is that hopefully 10 extra levels mean 10% or whatever longer energy bar, because we know that the energy bar is linked to your level. The longer you, the higher your level, the longer is the energy bar. So that's going to be exciting to figure out how is that going to work. So basically we'll be able to store more energy in our golden bar. I hope. That's awesome. The comment by Disney says, if it's player's level, yes, it will be cool to get new stuff, but increasing that core game mechanic after 4 years is not going to be impactful. We have forgotten about it, and we will not feel the progression satisfaction that should have been there all along, which is important in games. I don't know, I feel like it's pretty common to have a hard cap on level and then increasing it in the future where most of the people hit that cap. I don't think it's not going to feel satisfying. I mean, sure, it's not going to feel... I feel like if we had level 50 from the beginning, it wouldn't matter. I don't think there would be much difference between level 40 and level 50. So I don't know if it actually makes a huge difference when to get these 10 extra levels. I personally think it's going to be great. And while we're at it, can we consider increasing maybe all of the character levels as well to like 20? And maybe give us an extra reward for every single character at level 20. Now, see, why they did the main character levels is because it's easy to do just 10 rewards. There you go. If they increase the level cap for all the characters, that means at least 1 reward, extra reward per character, which is going to be a lot of work for Gameloft for pretty much no reward, since everybody's just going to be unlocking those for free. But I would love to see higher levels for characters at some point. What is the benefit of leveling up the player that makes everyone this excited at the prospect? I don't think it's the fact that it's going to be super useful that makes people exciting. It's just a lot of people felt like they made no progress on their character for a long time. So it's just exciting to see the number go up. But 2 benefits that I do see is 10 extra rewards and longer stamina bar. Pretty much it. Alright, this is pretty much it. This is all the news we got so far. And since this video would be only 5 minutes long, I have a couple super cool Dream Snap tricks. 3 Dream Snap tricks to finish off this video. And I think one of these tricks is going to be extremely useful for this week's Dream Snap. We got a post from Twix on Dreamer's Portal. Dream Snap tips. Tilt. So tilt is a very interesting camera setting because not a lot of people use it. If you see a lot of the shots on the portal, barely any of them use tilt, but tilt can actually make shots look very cool, and not just because they look tilted, because anyway, let's just read this post because it explains it pretty well. This is just the way I like to use tilt, and I think it's a very good way. I usually align it with anything that has a straight horizontal line to match either the top part of my shot or the bottom, which is smart. So as an example, I used my last dream snap, where I used the window frame as horizontal guideline for my tilt. Of course, this isn't the only way to use tilt, but I prefer when a shot doesn't look obviously tilted. I think this is the biggest part. Same with motifs. You don't want to use motifs where your shot obviously has motifs. Well, most of the time. It depends on the shot. But if you're just using motifs conservatively, you want them to blend with the picture. You want them to subconsciously enhance it. And this is the same logic we can apply to tilt. Like, would you even be able to tell the shot is tilted? Actually, it's not, because it says it's not tilted. But here, we have a little tilt. I feel like if there is some kind of an action, if the pose of the character implies movement, tilt can actually work really well to help convey that movement. Tilt it to match the boat. That is smart. The boat is straight, but the world is a little bit tilted. You still have this one horizontal line in your shot to focus on, which is nice. Tilt it to match the wooden floor tiles. Yeah, you just pick a horizontal line in your shot, match your shot to it, and then the rest of the shot is gonna look super cool and a little bit tilted, especially if you're on a boat. The boats, they do tilt, so it does make perfect sense. Tilt it to match the rug. I wouldn't even be able to tell this is tilted, but it does add a little bit of this, like in a sea of dream snaps, you want to stand out, and the tilt can be that one thing that's going to help you stand out. If you don't overdo it, if you do it very tastefully, you can make almost any shot work with tilt. I think tilt works the best. It doesn't really work super well with close-ups, unless it's a very unique location for your close-up, something where you're like on a boat or in mid-motion. Then the tilt could be actually pretty good. Okay, the next trick that I've seen on the portal is by Snow White, and this one blew my mind. Silhouette for your dream snap. Hey guys, here's a guide how to make a silhouette for your dream snap. You're gonna need a lot of lanterns, and when you build your scene, and the rest you do in the camera setting. Look at this. Wow, what a shot. It's pretty risky for dream snaps, I would say, but it's such a cool concept. I think it could work very well in star snaps. Maybe in certain dream snaps, but it's just such a cool effect to know how it's done. So here's how the setup is working. You just put a what lot. I love that. Is that an expression? I've never heard it before. A what lot of lights, some iron lights on the back of your shot, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all you need. And clouds on the front. I wonder if clouds are actually part of it. Then here is all the camera settings that you need to apply. And after doing all of this, you're going to get this cool effect. I'm guessing you're going to have to crank up the shadow up, the highlights down, increase some contrast. Yeah, that is brilliant. That is a really cool effect. Here's another very cool effect by Tattletale. You can make your volcano look like it's erupting. Doesn't this look sick? It literally does. It literally does. Oh, that would be very useful for snaps. Maybe not so much for decorating, because this only works when you align things in a very specific way, but I feel like this would make a super cool dream snap. So yeah, here's how it works. We put a little fire in a bubble, giant tornado, a little fire. Yeah, that works. That is a really cool effect. Thank you for sharing, Tattletale. Okay, the last one. This one is going to be big, because a lot of people I've seen asking about the night shots. So we're going to go through a few things you can do to make your night shots look better. We have a question from Lindbergh. Does anybody have any tips for lighting and retaining color in night mode? I really wanted to use in this week, but struggle with the settings. I would really appreciate any help you can give. So there's a lot of great comments, but mostly there is two main things you can do to make your night shots look great and the colors look great. Okay, so let's take a look at the example. Let's, for example, take a shot of this castle. So if we go to the regular camera mode and put a night mode. Now, one easy trick that you can try, if you don't need a full moon, what you can do instead of doing the night mode, you can just try switching the time of day and set it to the night. Usually, it's going to have much better color retention. And in this mode, you can actually play around with contrast, saturation. You can play around with character lighting is very important to make your character stand out. during the dark background, which is very important. You can play around with light bloom to make those lights pop a little bit more. Also, a lot of people recommend playing with vignettes and going negative. It can help brighten up those corners, which could be very helpful in a dark shot. You probably don't want any extra darkness added to your shot. Yeah, these are the most important. Vignette, character lighting, and stuff like saturation and brightness. Just play around with the sliders. But there is an easier way, and in my opinion, the best way, is to apply this filter. If you are going for the full-blown night mode, as you can see, this one, it creates this fog on the back, and it kills a lot of colors. So how to bring the colors back? My favorite way, and a lot of people recommend this, using filters. And there is 2 filters that work the best. My favorite is the bottom row, the one on the right. Look how cool it makes everything look. Now everything is too bright, so we're gonna have to... you might actually need to go down on your brightness, down on your character light to make sure it matches. It is a very specific aesthetic. It actually makes the sky looks incredible. Everything is gonna look a little bit purplish, but it makes the most bright and colorful night shots. You cannot get this level of color reproduction, in my opinion, in any other way. It's just really great. Also, it helps if the moon is actually in front of you. So if the moon is on the back, you are not going to have this good of a lighting. It's going to look much worse. So if I, for example, face this way, you're going to have the moon on the back, but you're not going to have the benefit of lighting the front of your scene. So you're going to have to pick and choose what's more important. Having the moon, see, this is much grayer and worse lighting. If you want a night shot without the moon with great lighting, face away from the moon. But if you want the moon in your shot, it's almost you almost have to use one of the filters. It's either this one, brings back the color into the shot so much. But then once again, if you don't want the fog, you're gonna have to just use the regular day mode and just set your time to the night. Or if you do want the full moon and not have the fog, you can do your dream snap in Frosted Heights. In Frosted Heights, you can get the full moon no matter what mode you are using. You're always going to have a full moon. Either Frosted Heights or Frosted Island. I have no food on me. Oh, I have some dream jam waffles that I made yesterday on the scavenger hunt with Dreams with Gem. But yeah, now if you look at Frosted Heights, you're always going to have a full moon. Even if you just go the regular sunny day and just set your time to the night. Where is the moon? I just went to Frosted Island because it was really difficult to see the moon in Frosted Heights. It's still very difficult to see it. Come on, where is you? Where is the moon? There it is. As you can see, it's fully full in Frosted Heights, even in the regular mode, and you're going to retain much more colors and have no fog. But let's say you do want to go for the night mode, and you do have the moon in the back. Once again, use one of these 2 filters. This one, and then play around with the settings. Contrast and saturation works really good with this mode, and character lighting. And once again, vignettes in night shots. Most of the time, you're probably going to want it in a little bit negative or positive. Actually, basically, you want to remove some lightness from the edges. So this looks pretty good for the night shot. Or if this is too bright and colorful, you can use... Sorry, this one. If this is too bright and colorful, then you use the first row, the last filter. It still brings back a little bit of the color, but it's a little bit more calm. It's not super bright and colorful, but it definitely looks much better than it would without the setting. You can still get some really cool night shots. So yeah, these are pretty much all the tricks. Let me know in the comments. Have you done a night shot lately, and have you used any of the filters? Like, how do you get your night shots to look really good? And also, how do you feel about getting extra 10 levels to level up in Disney Dreamlight Valley? Thank you so much for watching, my friends. I'm excited. I'm excited for the next week. More news are going to be coming. I'm going to try to make my prediction right now. What do I think is going to be another quality of life feature? Something tells me, for some reason, I'm feeling that we will be able to turn off the spawnables this update. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people want to be able to do that. Maybe there's going to be a device for it or a setting. It probably doesn't have to do anything with Hercules. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Actually, I don't know. I take it back. I have no idea. I'm just gonna have to wait and see. But whatever it is, I hope it's not another fix for multi-select tool. Even though that tool definitely needs another fix, because sometimes it just picks nothing up. But I hope there is something more exciting and new. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Subscribe for more Disney Dreamlight Valley, and take care.
Oh, nice day we're having, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. Woohoo!
Amazing. Gotta tell you, it is really beautiful here. Hey, nice to see you.
Oh, hello.
Are you seeing this?
Oh.